A year ago Christmas Eve, at about 2:30 in the afternoon, I'm having lunch at a friend's cafe in Delray Beach, Florida, and this Leilani's under the table, sleeping up against the wall. I have my back to the door. The next thing I know, this dog, it's a large rescue dog, had gotten untied, and somebody opened the door. He came in. I looked over there, and he had her in his mouth, and he's shaking his head. And she went into convulsions and eliminated everything, and she basically died. She wasn't breathing. And I'm down under the table, and I said, I'm not ready to let you go yet. We've done it once, we can do it again. We got her breathing, and I rushed her over to the vet, and they took x-rays, and they said, her skull's hanging clear down here. She got 3 crushed vertebrae. The nerves are all severed, no movement in the front. They're gonna have to put her in a body cast. She'll probably never be able to walk properly, and you'll have to help her go to the bathroom and this and that. And I said, well, that's unacceptable. And so I got on the phone and the email and contacted my team. I could only reach about half of them that worked on her when we healed her leg. And I said, we've done it. We're going to do it again. I asked them to please visualize her running through the grass, because they all know how she runs, and the wind blows her hair, and if the grass is high, she doesn't like it on her belly, and so it's like in the snow, like the big dogs do it in the snow. And that's all we did, was we started visualizing that. And I didn't see the injury. And 12 hours later, we did an MRI. I took her up to a hospital with a famous vet up in Palm Beach. And after he's in there with her doing the x-ray or the MRI, he comes out and he shakes my hand. He takes me by the hand and he said, Andrew, he said, do you do hands-on healing? I said, well, it's something kind of like that. And he said, well, that's the only explanation I have. He said, here's the x-ray here. This is what we've got here. He said, there's no crushed vertebrae. The nerves are grown back together, and some of them, he said, it's like they're reaching for each other. The ear had been pulled out, and the eardrum, everything was filled up, and he said the ear is looking great. He said, I would just like to put her in a soft cast, one of those things where they wrap this stuff, for a couple weeks just to make, he said I'd feel better about that. And I said, okay. And 2 weeks later, we had that off of her, and she's jumping up on the couch doing her rolling thing like that. And I told her to stop taking these hits for me, because I get it now. I know it works, and I've had people come up to me wanting to know what we did and how we were able to heal her. And I said, it's the same stuff that Joe's teaching us for ourselves. And then she had about 4 months after that, I noticed that her leg, when she'd hit, if somebody had a marble floor, she was having a problem keeping the front legs together, so I knew it was the nerve thing. And I just sat her down for 2 mornings in a row. I said, honey, we're gonna fix that. And I did my meditation with her. And as I was blessing the energy centers, I worked from down here all the way up with her. And I looked at her and said, we're done. She's no more limping after that. So I just love this stuff. It's just changed my life. And I can't thank Joe enough for it. And it's awesome. I love it.